Hi friends, today we are going to learn what is a test plan. Okay, see here. Uh, 1 second. Right. So, test plan is a detailed document which describes the software testing areas and activities. Okay. Uh, then how what are the input document for test plan actually? As you all know, first the project plan is prepared. First the high level plan is prepared, then the project plan is prepared. Uh, in the project plan, we will be having for testing activities, there will be a schedule for testing activities. Okay, depending on the project plan, okay, the test plan is made. Okay, and the test plan is made by the test lead. Okay, in some companies test manager will be doing that, but whatever it is the duty of the test lead. Okay, so test plan describes how testing will be accomplished. Okay, how testing will be done. Okay, we'll be seeing the test plan template also. uh, it is created after the requirements are baselined and uh, after the development. Okay, so actually there is a small correction over here. Okay, um, we can't say that it is means it will be done after the development. Test plan is made uh, after the project plan is made. Okay, and the project plan is made before after the requirements are been gathered actually. Okay, means I am talking about the detailed project plan. Okay, not the master project plan. Okay, which we will be making earlier. Okay. So here but as a test engineer, I will be means I will not be means knowing what means I don't have the knowledge of the test plan. Okay, but if I am a test lead, I will be making the test plan. Okay, then what as a test engineer we will be getting, we will not be getting any test plan, but we will be getting only my schedule. Okay, the dates and the activities which as a test engineer I have to do. Okay, so if you are a test engineer, so you can't say that okay, I will be making the test. I will be making this test plan. Okay, even though you might be having the knowledge of the test plan, but in real time you will not be seeing the real test plan. Okay, so uh, okay, then the test plan is reviewed and managed. Okay, see, all the plan documents are reviewed and managed. Okay, or you have to say there are controlled and managed. Okay, why I am saying that because no plan document is baselined. Okay, even the project plan is not baselined because plan we are making a plan means plan will change here and then. Okay, why plan will change? Because see, some tasks maybe there will be slippages may happen in some tasks, and then at that time what happens, the other tasks also will be affected, so we have to reschedule it. Okay, the scheduling will be done in the plan itself, so you have to change the plan. So whenever I will be changing the plan, I will be changing the document version, so it is known as controlled. Okay, means configuration management will be coming into picture. Anyhow, every document is controlled, but why it is managed? Because you should not say that okay, uh, how many times I will be changing that, it should be managed, it should be means closely watched by the management people. So means if at all any changes are being done, it should be reviewed. Okay, and approved. Okay, so at least that has to be done. Even baselining is not done, but it has to be reviewed and approved. Changes has to be reviewed and approved. Okay, the same way test plan also, as and when any slippages happen, or suppose for a while project has been means or the testing has been suspended, at that time we have to change the plan, no? So that's why this plan document is reviewed and managed or controlled and managed. Okay, test plan is essential for effective testing. Okay, if you want to make our testing efforts to be in an organized way, so planning is required. Okay, uh, one second. Then test plan is okay. And it should consume 1/3 of the total testing efforts. Okay, that is what I am saying. Okay, each and every time, whenever possibility is there, we have to change the test plan. Okay, and we have to means proper plan. If you want to do a proper planning, proper means time has to be given for planning. Okay, it is not a 1 or 2 pages document. Okay, planning has to be done perfectly. Okay, if you want our tasks or testing tasks should be done in a smoother way. Okay, if you how best you can plan it in that much efficiently, testing will be done. Okay, there should not be any overlapping of tasks. Okay, you should be planning in a systematic way. Okay, then test plan is essential to optimize utilization of resources. That's what it is. What I wanted to say. Okay, we wanted if we want to utilize our resources in optimum way, uh, in a in a maximum way, okay, in a positive direction, so planning should be required. Okay, why means in plan, if you plan, then only you can see that okay, no task, no no resources, I am talking about the human resources, is ideal. Okay, you have to make sure in the plan itself. Okay, right. Then to make a effective test plan, start plan earlier. That's what I am saying. Okay, whenever the project plan is made, we have to start for the test plan. Okay, then keep the test plan flexible. Okay, it should be easy to modify. Okay, uh, review the test plan often. Whenever any changes occurs in the test plan, it has to be reviewed. Okay, uh, calculate the planning efforts. Okay, how many man days, how many man days are you are putting it, should be calculated. Okay, as and when suppose the man days are increasing, this means that cost is also increasing. So you have to consider okay, how many man days we have kept it, those many man days only. How many man days we have planned to keep for testing, it should not exceed those man days. Okay, so otherwise project will be. So here we have to calculate the testing efforts. Okay, the testing efforts can be calculated in the test plan. Okay, and spend necessary time to uh, complete the test plan. That's what it is. Means 1/3 of the testing efforts is kept in planning. Okay, so it has to be done whenever it is necessary. It has to test plan has to be modified. Okay, so let's see the how the test plan will look like. Okay, I am having one template with me. Okay, and this template is approved by CMM level companies. Okay, so it contains all the fields. Okay, so here whenever any document is there, document will have the document number. Okay, the that is what is called the document identifier. Okay, so here you can see here. Okay, in the header, the document number is there. Okay, so sometimes it will be mentioned in the first page. Okay, so whatever it is, so first this is the document number, we have to consider it. And we are having the project name and the version name. Okay, that is the actually project version. Okay, and the project ID. Here each and every project will have a separate ID. And here if you see the revision history, that is how many times the test plan has been revised, here we have to write it. Okay, means here the revision number will be there, like version number, that will also have a revision number, means how many times you will revise it, those many times the revision number has to be done. And here sometimes it is written as 1.0, it is a 1.1020, means it actually it is a part of the configuration management, how the versioning will be done. So you no need to worry about this versioning. Okay, so if it is a small change, only small number, means this number will be changed, last number will be changed. If it is a medium change, second number will be changed. Okay, so if it is a somewhat big change, then the version, in place of one, it will be coming two. Okay, so in this way it happens that what is a small change, what is a medium change, what is a big change, that depends upon the company, means how they have defined the small change, medium, and means uh, high change. Okay, so here is the date of the revision, when it is revision, when the revision is done. Revision means whenever any modification is done, those modification, that document has to be verified. Okay, okay, and approved. Okay, so here the revision will change only when it is reviewed and approved. So here this is the initial draft. Okay, and initial draft will not have any changes. Okay, so it is the author is the person who actually makes the test plan, that is here in this document test lead will be there. And I have given some dummy names. Okay, so here and who reviewed it and who approved it, his name. Okay, he might be a project manager. Okay, sorry, he might be a test manager. Okay, uh, okay, in this way the revision will be done. Okay, if at all any changes are done, we have to mention over here what are, in which field the changes has been done. Then this is the table of contents. Anyhow, we will be seeing all those things. What are they? What are there? Okay, then first the actually it is a product overview. Okay, what is the product is all about? Okay, this information can we will be getting from uh, the requirement documents or from the test project plan itself. And this is the approach, overall approach. Okay, and deep approach we will be deeply writing, but overall you have to write. Okay, if you are writing means when you are writing any approach, we have to consider these things. Okay, these are the questions which you have to make in mind, and you have to write the approach. Okay, then what type of testing will be done, how we are going to do it, those all things will be written. Okay, whether you are going to write means manually, or you are going to use any tool for testing. Okay, if you are doing manually, how you are going to write, are you going to write any test cases, or by using test scenarios you are going to do it, or whatever it is. Okay, that approach you have to mention over here. Okay, if you are using any tools, testing tools, okay, like automation tools, or if you are using any for load testing or performance testing, if you are using any load runner like that, any tools if you are using, it has to be mentioned over here. Okay, and whether these tools are if you are getting the tools from external, any from vendor or like that, it has to mentioned over here. Okay, uh, okay, then the test data. Okay, uh, test data is the data which is used for testing. Okay, sometimes what happens, the test data can be given by the some sort of test data can be given. In some cases it will be given by the customer also. Okay, so that then you will be writing, okay, where you are getting the test data. Okay, not okay, if it is a normal regular project, then test engineers will be preparing the test data. Okay, then here we have to mention that how you are going to prepare the test data. Okay, from where you are getting the test data. Okay, from which document, all those things has to be mentioned over here. And for the need for the test data, what all you have, what are the things we required. Okay, that also been mentioned over here. This is the test environment. Okay, here anyhow the bifurcation is being done for the integration which environment. Okay, here we have to mention what are the things what you have taken it as a consider, we are considering as an environment, means hardware, software, if any, uh, OS, any servers if you are using. Okay, all those things has to be mentioned over here. And here we have to mention the architecture also. Which type of architecture it is actually? Okay, entire architecture or three tier, two tier, or single tier, one tier. Okay, so here integration test and environment has to also be mentioned over here. And training, if at all any trainings are required, I told you in the kickoff meeting, the um, HR representative will be there. There they will be discussing on what are the trainings which are needed by the testing uh, department for that particular project is told there. In the same way, here it has to be mentioned. Okay, what are the trainings that are to be given by to the testers? Okay, it is actually project level trainings. Okay, not the process related trainings. Okay, what are the project related trainings? If at all any new tech, if you are using any new technology. Okay, so when exactly the trainings will be conducted? Okay, are the trainers are from internal trainers or there will be any external trainers? Okay, then if at all if you are selecting any uh, new project members, then KT, knowledge transfer, how the knowledge transfer has to be given. Okay, on which uh, that all things has to be mentioned over here. Okay, and here is the entry and exit criteria. At high level you have to write it. Okay, what is the entry criteria and what is the exit criteria? Okay, and here in the unit testing, what is the entry criteria? We have to mention some of the examples we have given over here. Okay, 100% unit. Okay, when you will do the unit testing, when the unit test cases are ready. Okay, this is what is the entry criteria. In that way, okay, it has to be mentioned what is the entry criteria for unit testing and what is the exit criteria for unit testing. Okay, so in the same way, here you have written the exit criteria also. See here, 100% unit test cases are executed. Okay, and they have to be passed. Okay, it is not that we have only executed it. Okay, every test case, unit test case has to be passed. Then this is actually component level testing. So in component testing, actually it is the module. If you are testing a module-wise testing, then this component testing will be done. Okay, and sometimes what happens, some hard if it is an embedded systems are also been involved in our software, uh, then this means that there will be some hardware. Okay, if you are testing any hardware related things, here we will be planning for those components. Okay, so the exit and entry criteria for that type of testing also, it may be a what you call hardware related, or it may be a module. Okay, module wise testing. Then comes after the module is prepared, then the integration will be from software to software or from software to hardware. Okay, that's what I am telling. Okay, so integration testing here, the entry and exit criteria for the integration testing, and the integration sequence is also very important. Okay, this is the exit criteria, and there will be integration sequence also you have to mention. I will be telling you that. Okay, and after that the system testing and the exit and entry criteria for the system testing, that's what the test engineers will do. uh, then the suspension criteria means is in which what are the situations where a project can be suspended. Okay, means testing can be suspended. Okay, means there are many cases happens. Suppose there are not if there are not enough resources available, will be suspended for some time. Okay, the testing will be suspended for some time, or if there is any showstopper. Okay, showstopper bug is there, then we have to suspend it, and you have to means approach the development team so that the first the showstopper defect has to be fixed. Okay, and suppose uh, uh, if the build fails in the smoke test, then we will not continue for the further testing. Okay, we will reject the build. Okay, in that case also we are suspending the testing activities. Okay, so here we have to mention all those cases when we are going to suspend the testing activity. Okay, then re-assumption criteria, and when actually we will re-assume the testing again, when you will be starting the testing. Okay, what are the various uh, what you call uh, various options where we can reassume it. Okay, if you suppose smoke test, if you are suspending it, if it is failed in smoke test, then when it passes in smoke test, we will start testing. Okay, suppose the resources are available, we can start testing. Okay, and suppose the showstopper defect has been fixed, then you can again reassume this testing. Okay, then again you can continue testing. Okay, that's what it is. Then here this is very important. Okay, uh, what are the assumptions, what are the dependencies, and what are the constraints? Okay, assumptions, there is a small difference between these three things. Okay, most of the people will be confusing. Okay, assumptions means uh, we assume that that is true and we will be doing the testing. Suppose if you are doing any mobile application testing, what happens, we assume that actually means we have to first, you will be testing in a stimulator, and afterwards you have to actually install the app in our mobile, and we have to test it in the real mobile. So here what is our assumption? Our assumption will be uh, the mobile, so OS is working fine. Okay, the mobile is not a defective mobile, it is a working fine mobile. Okay, so that is what is the assumption. We assume that it is working fine and we will be doing the testing. Okay, means that if at all any defect occurs, it is not because it is not because of the mobile, it is because of the application. We have to assume in that way. Okay, so that is what is the assumption. Okay, then what is the dependencies? Okay, in testing there will be many dependencies. Okay, suppose our work as a test engineer, we have to depend on the developers, that they have to give the build, then we have to start testing. Okay, and there will be some deliverables might be. Okay, suppose that in one case, okay, customer told that, okay, I will be giving the test data. Okay, in that case, that is a dependent. He has when you will give the test data, then only you can start testing. Okay, suppose some modules are given to third party, some other organization. Okay, so here, after getting those modules only, we can test it. Okay, means integration will be done, then testing will be done. That is also a dependency. Okay, and suppose if you are developing, means if you are testing a mobile application, then I told you that mobile should be required. Okay, that is also a dependency. These mobiles where will we get from the admin department or from the IT department? That is also one dependency. Okay, if they will give us, then only we can test it. Okay, uh, suppose if you are using any stimulator, then IT people has to give that stimulator to us. Means that has to stimulator has to be installed in our PC. Okay, so those are all things are the dependencies. Okay, uh, then what are the constraints or the conditions? Because for doing our job, something pair has to be done. That is what is the condition. Means if you do that, that has to be done. Means our job can be done. So what are the conditions? Suppose uh, sometimes what happens. Um if suppose one module is tested by some other department, means other department is other company, okay, third party company, and our module is linked with that module. Okay, so what happens if that module is tested, then only you can go for this module. Okay, suppose if registration is done, then only we can log in and you can test it. Okay, so there is a dependency. Okay, that's what are the sorry, that's what that is not dependency. That what is the constraints. Okay, that are the conditions. If registration is done, then only login will be done. Okay, that then only we can get the login ID password. Then only for that login ID password we have to do testing. Okay, developers will give the login ID password, but we can't. We should not test it with those login ID and password. Okay. Uh, if developers gives the login ID and password, then we assume that that is true, that is working fine, and we will be starting testing. But we have to create our own login ID and password, and we have to log in with that login ID and password, and we have to test the application. So that is what is the condition over here. That is what is the constraint. So you have to mention here the assumptions. What are the assumptions are there? What are the dependencies here are there? What are the conditions are there? Okay. So these are all those things. Here we have written the scope. Okay, this will be actually this will be first, and then scope, sometimes scope will be at the first. Okay, so there's the scope of testing. What is the scope of the unit testing? What is the scope of the integration testing? Okay, means what are the things which you have to, which are going to test it. Then then we are having the system testing. What is the scope of the system testing? Then system testing, what are the features that are to be tested, or items that are the modules which you are going to test it. You have to mention all those features over here, modules over here, and the parent components or the parent system, okay, from which these modules have been defined. Okay, some overview after we will be writing. And then features not to be tested. And you may be thinking, okay, already we have written the features what are to be tested, then the remaining features will be we should not test, no. So it is not like that. Okay, it has to be explicitly mentioned that what are the features that are to be tested and what are the features that are not to be tested. Okay, so then you can get the idea that what actually, how many features are there. Okay, uh, right. Then what is the entry and exit criteria for unit? Okay, and what are the entry for everything? Okay, when the review will be done and all those things will be there. Okay, here entry and exit criteria will be there in depth. This is in depth. Go entry and exit criteria. What is the coverage? Uh, and here, even though entry exit criteria, it comes from the processes. Okay, for every company will have their own testing process. In that process, it will be written that okay, this stage after completion of this, we have to do this. Okay, the entry and exit criteria will be mentioned over here, and but it it has to taken from the processes and it has to written in the plan document. Okay, so here it is applicable. Means some cases, see here, all the companies, even though the levels of testing is been there, but all the companies may not be following all the levels of testing. Okay, at least for documentation purpose. Though, so here they will be given if it is applicable or not for this particular project. Okay, so they will write yes or no. Okay, this is all about the entry and exit criteria for integration and all system testing. Then what, this is very important, what are the roles and responsibilities in testing? Okay, what person will do what means what role will do what type of tasks. Okay, so here it is role, a test lead will do, and the location where from where he is going from, he is offshore or he is working in the same location or something like that. Okay, it has to, location has to be mentioned over here. And what are the responsibilities, what are the things that he has to do. Those all responsibilities will be written. Okay, you might be thinking that okay, already it is there in the process. No, already projects has been done, already process in process it is there, and why to write explicitly in test plan? So sometimes what happens, even though it is process in process document, it will be there that which role has to do which job, which tasks or which job. Okay, but it has to mention explicitly over here. Sometimes what happens, um, some companies will do some sort of tailoring for the processes. Okay, while taking from taking for taking we can, they will not take as it is. Okay, they will do some modifications. Why they will do modifications? Because suppose that the test lead is not suppose test engineer is there. Here the test engineers are very less maybe, so test lead has to do the work of the test engineer also. So here it has to be mentioned, even though that is not there in process, but it will be mentioned over here, so that okay, for not all the projects, for particular this project, because of the lack of resources, he has to do the test engineer's job also. Means he has to write the test cases also, apart from the doing the monitoring activities. Okay, planning activities. Okay, so it has to be explicitly mentioned what are the roles and what are their responsibilities. Okay, and what is the location in which they will be situated. Okay, then you will know why the what is developer doing over here. He actually, this plan is made for the tester. No, actually, this test plan is applicable for test developer also, because he is also doing unit testing. He is also doing integration testing. Okay, for that purpose it is there. Okay, even though he will be reporting to the project manager, but testing activities he has means test lead will be taking care of those things. Okay, so test lead will be telling the developer what to test and what not to test. Okay, and how to test. Okay. Okay, again, this approach has been written in a means depth way. There we have written in a shortly means high level. Here we have to write the approaches in a depth way, in a deeper way, in a concrete way. Okay, then the other approaches, system approach, detail. Here we have to detail. You have to mention it. Then what is the life cycle? Okay, what is the here? The most important thing, the plan depends upon the model we have selecting. Okay, okay, then here the test planning, actually the activity planning will be done over here, means the main activities which are being done, the high level dates will be given over here. For unit testing, which dates to which date, for execution, which date to which date, integration, what are the dates, for system, for three cycles it has been given over here, and automation, framework design, and all those things. Okay, high level here will be done. Then here the detailed scheduling is done, unit test schedule, when actually these unit test cases will be written. This is the detailed schedule. uh, Here we have to write the document name. Here see, work product id means document id, what are the modules you are going to test it, what are the sub modules in that, and what are the pages or the forms, and responsible and who is going to test it. Okay, so all things has to be written over here. Then the test start date and test end date. Okay, so then in the same way, integration test plan, here the sequence has to be mentioned, and what are the modules which you are going to integrate first, then the what are the modules, the second what you are going to integrate, third what you are going to, it should be in a sequence. Okay, integrations has to be done in a sequence. First two modules has to be integrated, then third module will be integrated, then again it is tested. So the sequence has to be mentioned over here. Then in the same way, integration test schedule will be there. This is the system certificate schedule, which is actually test engineers will here. Actually, this is our as a test engineer, we have to bother about this. Okay, so here the what is the work product document idea, and what is the module, what is the sub module, what is the page, and what are the person. Here we have to write the name of the test engineer who is going to do it, who is going to test that page, and what is the date, starting date and ending date. Here is the resources, what are the human resources. Okay, who are going to do the unit testing, who is going to do the integration testing, and who is going to do the system testing. Okay, and the test environment, hardware, what hardware is required. Okay, application server, what is the server path, what is the server type, what is the OS, what is the RAM size, all those things will be written over here. See here. Then the test cases, how you are going to write the test cases. Okay, it has to be mentioned over here. And how the unit test cases are being written, the integration test cases are being written, and the system test cases are being written. How you are getting, how will you get the test results. Okay, if at all for the resulting also you will be using any tools for that. Okay, how the defects are being managed, how the defects are being first classified, defect management and handling. We are having defect classification, how the defects are being classified, what is a critical defect, what is a major defect, what is a minor defect, what is a suggestion. Here it has to be mentioned what type of defect, you can say it as a major, what type of defect you can say it as a minor, or a suggestion, or a critical. Okay, well, it depends upon the company what terminology they will be using. Okay, severity of the defect. Okay, then how the defects are being logged and being reported and tracked. Okay, how you are going to are you using any defect report document, or are you using any DPD, or are you using any tool like such as Mantis as to report the defects, and those all things has to be mentioned over here. And how you are going to this communication plan is how you are going to communicate the defect to the development department, and how the development department will be communicating with you in terms of the defect. Okay, this is that communication. Okay, tester and developer communication. Okay, for sending the defect and receiving the modified what document. Okay, then test automation, details of test automation. What are the modules or the sub modules you are going to automate? See, all the modules may not be automated. Okay, if all the modules are automated, good, but if some restrictions will be there. Okay, so what are the modules you are going to automate it? That list of the things you have to mention over here. And what are the modules or the sub modules you are not going to automate? Same as what you're going to test it, what you are not going to test it. Okay, then what are the test deliverables? What are the outputs that you are going to get in this entire testing? Okay, so here are some of the examples. Okay, test plan, specifications. Okay, scripts. We are getting test data. They are all means defect report. Okay, test case report. These are all things. Actually, you might be seeing that here these reports are there. They are test reports which we will be sending to the management people or to the customer if customer asks. So what is the status of the stat? They are all the status reports. Okay, then issue log. Okay, they are all things. What are the documents? It depends upon the your company that what all the documents they are maintaining. Okay, for testing. Then this communication plan. Here, this communication plan is the uh, hierarchy. If at all any issue comes, then whom we have to communicate first. Okay, then after if it is not solved, then we have to go to where. Okay, there it will be written like this. Okay, names, what are the roles, what are the mail IDs, and their contact number also, official contact number if it is there. Okay, this is for issues. Okay, the communication aspect also is been mentioned over there, means as and when suppose you will get the defect, you should not communicate. Okay, if you should not communicate. Okay, first you have to solve on your end, try to solve on your end. If it is not solved, then you have there will be given, if it is after 1 hour or after 1 day, it has to be issue has to be passed to your higher official. Okay, so, and what is the way of passing? Is it through mail or is it through call, or it has to be mentioned? It will be mentioned over here. Okay. Then what are the risks that as a testing as a testing department has identified for this particular project? Okay, these risks has to be written over here. Okay. Sometimes what happens? There will be a separate document we will be maintained for the risks. If that document is there, we have to give the reference. Okay, if that document is not there, any explicit risk management document is not there, then we will mentioning the testing related risks over here. Not only risks, but not only identifying the risks is important, but you have to plan for the mitigation and contingency also. Okay, and if at all you are planning for any mitigation, that mitigation plan has to be documented here. Okay, so that as per the mitigation plans, action should be performed. No, so here some of the examples. Okay, here it is given. Here what are the references? Okay, what are the references for making this document? Okay, what will be the references? One thing is the project plan is one reference. Okay, and somebody will be saying, okay, development plan. Okay, maybe SRS. Okay, so what are the documents that you have used for making this document test plan? Okay, okay, this is all about test plan. Hope you understood what is a test plan. You got some idea what will be the fields. Now you can answer at least you can know the what are the columns it will be available. Okay, Hope you understood. Thank you.